Well, today's final speaker is the ebullient and passionate Debbie Ranson. Deb is a practicing registered clinical nurse. Her background is cardiothoracic transplant and community nursing, with her main focus now being cannabis medicine. She's an ambassador for Drive Change, a co-founding member of the Australian Medical Cannabis Association, AMCA, and co-founder of the Australian chapter of Cannabis Clinicians. She is also an active member of the Cannabis Nurses Network. Debbie's presentation is called The Great Leap Forward, Where to Next. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deb.
200 degrees, just like Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light.
Hey everyone. As you were told, my name's Deb. I've met some of you before, but some that I haven't. Fairly active in this space. I'm not going to keep you long. It's a few minutes. I just really want to say thanks to the ANMF, firstly, for coming and sponsoring today. Like, it's been a long, many years at conference getting this to fruition. So thank you, ANMF. Wherever you all are, thank you. And really, what an amazing day. I don't know how much you've all learnt today, but I think that it's been fairly amazing from what I've seen from the background. And really, I mean, the next couple of days as well, if you're able to stay, it is just going to be superb, just like it's been today. So I just really want to say that we've spent the day talking about cannabis, or you guys have heard about cannabis, and it really is a wide, broad-ranging therapeutic medicine that's coming to fruition. And us, you know, it's going to continue to evolve. So we really do like to have us all evolve as well. So my journey as a nurse started 100 years ago, but cannabis nurse quite a long time ago. So I've seen really quite a lot, and in my short time really in the cannabis, and I'm amazed daily, just like you guys probably were today. Every day I see patients and it's just glorious to hear what they've got to say about what it does for them, the reduction in symptoms. I just really want to know, as nurses, where are you going to go from here? So I want to know that you guys are going to try and either advocate from today. You can very well just walk away today and not think about it again, but I'm pretty sure that you have heard enough to know that in contemporary practice, we need to remain contemporary in practice. We need to remain with the latest and greatest of what's going on. So really, if you don't remain in this state that's moving forward, you're going to fall backwards. So let's empower each other. I found out in my journey really quickly that it's the patients that matter. We really do move forward with them and their advice. So when we chat to them, we find out how they're going in their daily events when they feed back to us with their medicine. So what I do is advocate for them. When they come into hospital, when I'm in my ward role, if they come into hospital and they've got medicine with them, we're not to stigmatise them as nurses. It is a legally prescribed medicine now. It's an S4, S8 medicine. So if you're finding them coming into your facility these days, that it is the patients that we're following in the footsteps of. They've trialled it, they've tested it, they've accessed it. It was black market, but let's not stigmatise them. Let's say, well, there's clinics now. This is available. There's GPs, there's authorised prescribers. Let's not take this PGR toxic-filled waste that's called cannabis and consume it. Let's get on the legal program. So as you guys would know, you were seeing it more often. I don't think there'd be any one person in this room that could say they've not heard someone talk about cannabis or cannabis medicine or my auntie or my uncle. So I'm not sure what actually brought you all here today. Was it like, I've got a friend that uses it and I've seen the benefits? Was it someone you know or someone you know knows and has told you? Are you using it yourself? You know, it is a legal S4, S8 medication, so are you using it yourself? And if that's the case, it's brought you here today. So really, I think that there's personal reasons, there's advocacy reasons. Whatever that reason is, don't leave here today without considering all the people that are out there that don't know it in this profession, in nursing and in mental health, the doctors, even allied health. Talk to everybody about what you've heard today. Just visit, if you're here for the weekend, visit the ANMF booth, grab the document that's going to give you all that information, resource guides that you can use to go forward. Because basically it's us that's going to do that. All these people that we hear speak today and all the people we're going to hear speak in the coming days, they were once pioneers just like you. They were new people that had that curiosity, go, what's this about? I see this man every day for 12 months. He can't walk. He can't speak. He can't wipe his own bottom. He's just strolled on in here, you know, like, oops, sorry. So we sort of need to embrace that and move forward as the clinicians. And I've gone right off track, but that's okay. All right, so that's about, you know, the gist of it. I want you guys to really just feel as you go through those phases. So you've learnt a little bit today, you might now start a journey, and that journey might take you through exhaustion, it might take you through anger. After you hear the legislation and why did cannabis become illegal, you might feel all these different emotions. So ride with them. You might get resistance when you go back to work and say, I went to this amazing symposium, cannabis is a real medicine. People will laugh, trust me. The last 30 years, I've had so many people laugh. Don't worry about it because you're evidence-based. We all have an endocannabinoid system. You found that out today. It's evidence-based. And without knowing what your endocannabinoid system does, you can't really say that you're treating that whole person because the endocannabinoid system is our major 12 body system. You know, our homeostasis, our internal homeostasis. When that's off track, what are we doing? Creating fibromyalgia, all sorts of chronic inflammatory diseases are because our endocannabinoid system is depleted. And I've met so many people who are knocked off because their endocannabinoid system is shot to heck, you know, and it's like, well, what do I do now? I've tried every pharmaceutical there is. They'd get a bit of cannabis medicine into them, and after a couple of months, that ECS starts to regulate, starts to come back to where it was, and then you can keep topping that up. For many reasons it's depleted, whether it's life or who knows. But at the end of the day, they found it. But guess where they found it? Last line. I'm sorry, have someone rung a bell? It's last line. Why the hell is it last line? I don't understand that, you know, it's not causing death. The only way cannabis is going to kill you is if you pack a semi-trailer load full of it and throw it on your head. And that's the semi-trailer. That's the semi that's killing you, not the cannabis. So there are people out there that do have issues of psychosis and schizophrenia. That's something that you assess. If they come to you, you and the doctor assess that. They can't come out of nowhere. A GP's had to send them. Or the GP's doing it themselves. So they've not just come out of the blue. And if they have come out of the blue, they've probably been using black market. You can bet your life they've been using it. And these are the people we don't want to stigmatise. I can give you 3 clear examples. I won't take up too much more of your time, but 3 clear examples in the last 2 months. One patient, oh my goodness, this man, his daughter was beside herself because she was travelling 70 kilometres of a morning, 70 kilometres of an afternoon to a nursing home in a town 70 kilometres away to give him a dose of oil because the nurses wouldn't do it. Legally prescribed on a bottle, written, prescribed by a doctor, APRA registered, just like you and me. The nurse refused. I'm sorry, I'm not giving that. So I rang the GP from my clinic where I work and I said, look, you're going to the nursing home, but I'm not telling the nurses to do that. It's marijuana. Like, I actually got into trouble over that because I told the patient's family to, you know, look at duty of care. When did this man last see the patient? Well, he'd been prescribing OxyContin for 6 months. He'd never laid eyes on him. Never once laid eyes on that man. He hadn't been to the nursing home. So all merry hell broke loose, and this person, the nurses ended up giving that night dose. So the next follow-up, he needed a day dose because now he could walk. He could talk. He didn't need the willy walker. He was free of pain and his grandkids were coming around. But about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, you know, midday dose, it's titrationable. You can have 0 to 100 drops in a day. The pharmaceuticals, and there's room for them everywhere, but the pharmaceuticals, the doctor's going to prescribe you OxyContin. You're going to have a fixed dose, you know, and the more you take, the more you're going to need. You're going to have a fixed dose for that. Fixed dose. And then if you want to titrate that back, I can go back in and make another appointment and titrate that back. With cannabis medicine, it's completely safe. You know, you can go from 1 drop up to your dosing guideline, whether that be 2 drops, 5, 10, that's a guideline. So where that helps the patients is that instead of having a fixed dose, we all know my back is killing me after today, but if I'd been at home just sitting under a tree, it wouldn't be. Every day it's different, and that's what cannabis does. It allows you to treat symptoms as they arise and as you know in a routine. Like a patient, I haven't said any of this, I'm sorry. Okay, as a patient... As a patient with epilepsy, you'll know, you've talked to them today, they'll see seizure reduction. It might not work for everybody, and that's the case, but if they see that seizure reduction, they'll get a routine in, and that's how the cannabis works. I might need 2 drops in the morning, 2 in the RV, 2 at night. So anyway, where do you start? Just if you want to join in the journey or walk away, walk away. If you want to join in the journey, join with us on the weekend, go to the ANMF booth, get all your links that you need to. There's Australian Medical Cannabis Association, which I'm a co-founding member of, Society of Cannabis Clinicians Australian chapter, which we've all created. They're all reputable groups, so join them and find those links that you can. Basically, find your power, find your passion, get it started, and you know, do as much as you can to help patients and to help yourself, really, because that's what it's about. So hopefully this event's helped you to start that journey, or if you're in the middle of it, like beautiful Simone here, then, you know, take it from where you are and just move on. So really, I'm just asking you guys to advocate for yourself, advocate for patients, stand up, voice your concerns on that ward. The medicine comes in, grab the RMO and say, hey, this is legal, put it on the chart, write it on the med chart. If it says 1 drop to 100 drops, write it PRN, can have 100 up to 100 drops a day. It's not hard. Let's just get safe, prescribed medicine and get the black market stuff away. And really, just join me in this journey.
Oh, and Sally, just you stay with me, Deb.
You're the energy. Thank you so much. I'm just going to say a few words on behalf of the ANMF and just summarise some of the things from today, but I would like to start by once again acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, the Gubbi Gubbi people, and pay my respects to elders past and present. And also acknowledging the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are in the room with us today. I also just want to quickly recognise the conference organisers and the team of people it takes to pull such an event together. Lucy, Rita, Deb, and everybody around you, just thank you so much. It's been incredible to be a part of it. And you did say, Lucy, this morning that it was like giving birth to a baby. Well, your baby's born now, it's time to watch it grow. It has been a remarkable day, actually, not only for the clinical information that we've shared, the patient experiences and the clinician stories that have been told, but because what I've seen here is action that has arisen from advocacy. Nurses and midwives have opportunities that few others have. As we spend the highest proportion of time with people in our care, no matter where the setting is, we get to share time with people in their darkest hours, who are fearful, who are in pain, who are vulnerable and isolated for any number of reasons. I have long said that a collective voice holds much power. Power to affect individuals we care for, the power to affect our professions, the power to change the law should we choose to exercise it. There is a lot of discourse about how nursing and midwifery cannot and should not be political, that we should be above the unsavouriness that politics can bring. But as nurses and midwives, we are the largest healthcare workforce, and advocacy is the political voice that you have. It is through relentless advocacy, determination, resilience, perseverance, and everlasting compassion that we are finally seeing changes to legislation such as the decriminalisation of the termination of pregnancy, voluntary assisted dying, and of course, the use of medicinal cannabis. However, whilst some may celebrate the milestone of the passing of legislation, it is the translation of that into the change at the patient's side where the real hard work begins and needs to happen. Interstate differences, political agendas, regulation, poison schedules, licensing, and any number of other things tangle red tape and slow our progress. I continue to believe that the power of many voices can change the world, however. The ANMF, comprising of its state and territory branches, form the largest trade union in Australia. It is a powerful voice of over 300,000 voices, and the membership has been advocating on this issue for a long time. Did you know that 1 in 90 Australians is a member of the ANMF? That's a pretty incredible lobbying voice that we have. And not all nurses and midwives are members of the ANMF either, so you can imagine if we join forces together. There is still work to do in integrating medicinal cannabis-related knowledge and clinical skill into our professional understanding. To this end, as a significant professional nursing and industrial nursing and midwifery body, the ANMF has an important advocacy voice. We must work towards having the endocannabinoid system and medicinal cannabis included into the curriculum for all schools of nursing and midwifery in Australia. We must campaign. And that's for the future of nurses and midwives, but we've got some work to do with the ones who are already in the workforce, I think, as well. We must campaign for safe and affordable and increasingly accessible medicinal cannabis to be made available to anybody who may benefit from it. We support an evidence-based best practice model for the use of medicinal cannabis in all settings. The ANMF and its branches will work to develop and promote education for nurses and midwives on the role of medicinal cannabis, its uses and side effects, and the scope of practice for nurses and midwives working with it. The ANMF and its branches will continue to actively participate in lobbying government to change policy, to reflect the needs of patients and the roles of nurses and midwives as advocates trusted by their patients and the community. And the ANMF will use the power of its professional connections and networks, joining forces to dispel the stigma attached to the use of medicinal cannabis through the education of nurses, midwives, other health professionals, and clinical organisations and the broader community. We look to our international nursing colleagues who have much further evolved expertise in this specialty for collaboration and learning. If you're not already a member, joining the ANMF through one of its branches grows our power. Nurses and midwives everywhere can take part, an active part, in ensuring that we use that collective professional voice and power to make safe, affordable, and increasingly accessible medicinal cannabis in all states and territories in Australia a reality. Just one last bit. The nursing and midwifery values of advocacy, holism, caring and professionalism align very strongly with this endeavour. With our patients and community, we become a movement forward that cannot be stilled and cannot go backwards. We've heard it said a few ways today, but said most eloquently by Amazon John, be ready for the change because it will be swift when it comes. And Martin Luther King did say, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. On behalf of the ANMF, it has been an absolute privilege to support the inaugural Nursing Conference of the United in Compassion Symposium today. Congratulations on a successful, informative and very important work, and good luck for the next couple of days. Thank you.
So everybody, I hope you've had a great day and it's been as informative as you would have expected it to be. Remember, it is a big ask for you to go to work tomorrow, or if you're here for the weekend, rock up Monday and tell everyone they've got to have cannabis. It's not going to happen like that. You're going to take baby steps. And remember that the doctors for the last however many years, I'm not going to talk about prohibition because it's not allowed, but the doctors have been telling everyone rightly that they have been taught it's bad. So now doctors are telling people it's good. So nurses have been telling people, oh, it's illicit drug, and now we're going to tell them it's good. So everybody is going to be confused, confronted, meeting resistance. I don't expect you to be prescribing up there tomorrow, but certainly call out, especially to me. If any nurses, I run many pages, you'll see the links. That's it. It's just about that passion, guys. If you want it, I'll help you.